Jefferson Parish prosecutors accused two Romanian nationals of placing card skimmers at 6 different businesses. Prosecutors say that Cosmin Văduva and Elena Calderarisa placed the skimmers between January 1st and March 16th at businesses in Metairie, Kenner, Harvey, and Gretna. They each face 6 counts of violating the Anti-Skimming Act and 6 counts of conspiracy to commit bank fraud. Deputies in Grenada County, Mississippi arrested the pair March 12th. They were booked into jail in Birmingham, Alabama, where they're accused of placing skimmers, and they have since been transferred to Jefferson Parish. Both pleaded not guilty.